Ewoks are greater than porgs.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's October 11th. I'm Ryan Miller. Happy anniversary, Matt Amberg.
Thanks! It's not our anniversary, it's our anniversary.
Oh?
It's my wife and I's anniversary. It's not our anniversary. It's not the meaningful anniversary.
I take it back.
Yeah, don't apologize.
Although we are coming up on our 3-year.
3 years.
Month,
we are 3 years old, and boy, do we have the mentality for it.
Zero Hit Points is turning into a bright little toddler.
We're a toddler. Yeah, let's run into things and knock things over and cry about falling because we're dumb.
Okay, Michael Bay.
We get scared. I fell. I'm scared. I cried. They're not scared because they're not crying because they're hurt. They're crying because they're scared they fell.
It's true. That's deep.
Kids don't have pain receptors.
I feel like that could get you into some trouble.
I'm a doctor.
What are you and the missus going to do for your...
We're going out for dinner.
30-year...
It's been 8 years, but...
Whatever.
It definitely feels like...
You hit the 7-year and it's kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was like, hey, honey, let's go out for dinner. She's like, yeah, let's do something nice. I was like, okay, we'll go to the sit-down taco place.
Ooh, Del Taco?
Yeah.
Taco time.
Fuzzy's Tacos.
Oh. That does sound better, actually.
They're really good. When you come out here, we will go there. Probably multiple times.
That sounds better than the Del or the Time or the Bell.
They are in that succession better.
All right.
Not as good as Illegal Pete's. But yeah, no, we're just going out for dinner tonight. And one of the things we kind of did together this year for our anniversary was we have been saving and scrimping and doing a lot of work to redo our kitchen, and we finally got that going.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, so we're
literally here.
We're recording way late today on our recording day because my house is a mess right now. I had people knocking down walls and using electric and
the Property Brothers?
Yes,
nice.
It's true.
Did the one, is he not as good as the other? I mean, they have like a scuffle. He'll get the job done. They're silly.
You're on the wrong track.
Oh.
No, it's fine.
I did see somebody sweeping in the video you showed me.
Yeah, there was a guy sweeping. He was sweeping.
I mean, at least probably somebody's brother.
He might be. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. Our anniversary here. As soon as we're done here, I have to go and you can see I've gone and had a hair or 3 cut.
Oh, that's why the grooming.
The grooming has occurred. My beard is now at its most beardly.
It's very nice.
It's actually probably the best my beard has looked.
Stately.
Yeah. I feel like I should be.
It's got a good profile. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's still not at like Kelly's level.
No, I mean,
but
don't even.
Will it ever
that's
be?
Kind
No.
of offensive you said that.
Yeah,
no,
I'm disgusted by it. I love you, Kelly. Yeah, so that's my plan
all
for.
Plays really well, by the way.
Yeah, this is all real dumb. Beards win. You're a good guy. He's fancy fellow. Find him on Twitter. He does great artwork. He's a fun guy.
He does the best.
It's good pixel art, among other things. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. What do we do?
Really?
What is?
That's all you're going with this week? Did you want to?
Is it?
I'll roll you into like movies. Last I checked, you were gonna do like 7 horror movies over the past week. So I imagine you have.
I did.
All 7, one a day. You did it.
Yeah, I didn't do one today.
Oh, well, today doesn't count.
Well, today doesn't
Yesterday
count.
doesn't count.
I don't. Okay, so when last we left, I think Cult of Chucky was the last thing I talked about. So in between then, I've watched.
I don't think we ever got a Cult of Chucky last
maybe
week.
it was Purge election year. Okay, yeah.
That sounds more like it.
So I watched.
Did you watch Cult of Chucky?
I did, in fact, watch Cult of Chucky, which is the most recent Chucky flick. It's on Netflix, and I loved it. It's so much fun.
Is it good?
Brad Dourif is always delightful, and the fact that he's still pulling out amazing Chucky lines to this day, great. Fiona Dourif is his daughter, obviously. She's great in the movie, too.
What does she do?
She's actually the main character in the movie. She's
Chucky.
Yeah, she's Chucky. I'm not going to get into the plot of this at all. It's a cool Chucky movie. It definitely relies on you having seen other Chucky movies to at least have a basic idea of who some of the characters are. It's really cool always to see Andy come back, who was the protagonist of the first film when he was 6 years old. So now he's an adult. They have an awesome post-credit sequence that brings another character back she was awesome. Kyle, fantastic little post-credit sequence for her. So cool movie. Really, really liked it. Fits in the Chucky filmography for me. It's
the universe.
Yeah.
The CCU.
This is an interesting one though, because he does, like, they figure out some bizarre way where he figures out how to split his soul so he can be in multiple Chucky dolls at once. So there's like three Chucky. It's silly Chuckles.
He's a kid, man.
He's your friend to the end.
Terrible threes, because 3 souls. How many Chuckies are we? Chuckers? Whatever.
How many Chuckers are we at?
You get familiar. You kind of just rolls off. How many Chuckies are we up to now?
I believe this is 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty modest.
You got Child's Play 1, 2,
franchise.
3, and then it goes to Bride of Chucky, which is honestly probably my favorite out of all of them.
Jennifer Tilly. Right?
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah,
I love, and she shows up in this one too. Valentine. Jill Valentine comes back.
Is that the name of the bride?
Not Jill Valentine, but Valentine. Her last name is Valentine. That's
I thought you said Chill Valentine for a second, like it was a play. Okay.
Yeah, no.
She comes back as the Bride of Chucky, or is
not in doll form. She's in Jennifer Tilly form, and she's Jennifer Tilly. But there's a whole thing with her being Jennifer Tilly in the movies, where hey, you look just like Jennifer Tilly. Okay, I'm not, but you are.
Okay, all right.
So Bride, it's 1, 2, 3. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and then I think Cult of Chucky. I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Good flick. Next one I watched was this is a recent release, came out this year, and just shot up to the top of my one of my favorite horror movies I've seen in a while, called Raw. It's about a hardcore vegetarian who is who goes to a veterinary college with her sister, and is forced to go through hazing, and in the hazing they're forced to eat a piece of an animal, and in doing so she starts getting sick and then becomes a cannibal. And the way, and so this is a French flick, it's subtitled, all that. The way this movie is put together is just amazing. It's a beautiful, wonderful, disgusting coming of age story about learning who you are and accepting your changes and growth and all this stuff, and done in a really cool little gross package. And it has an all-timer ending for me. Like, the ending to this, you get just the best punch. It's kind of that, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's such a good ending. It fits, and it kind of makes all of the movie really come together in just this wonderful way. So loved Raw. That was a cool flick.
I've never once, like, my brain has never put French and horror together.
So in the mid 2000s, this new French horror extreme kind of came along, and these directors started making these really hardcore movies that were just mean and brutal, and aired a little bit more into realism. Like Martyrs is probably the biggest and best known controversial one.
Maybe I have heard of this. There was a director that crossed over, didn't he?
Yeah, Alexander Aja is probably the one you're thinking of. He did a movie called Hot Tension, which is High Tension, and then he went on and did The Hills Have Eyes remake. He did the movie Mirrors with Kiefer Sutherland, and that did not.
Ooh.
That was not a great movie, but it's.
But put Kiefer Sutherland in a room with mirrors. Like, I feel like
that's
how
it.
do you lose?
Well, that's pretty much the whole movie.
So, and it's bad?
No, it's not great. But Raw was good, and I loved it. I really recommend it if you like horror flicks. It's got some good gore to it, but it's not the primary force, and it's sparsely used. It's just a really well done movie. And then I ended up wanting to rewatch this flick called Cooties, which came out last year. I love this movie. It's got Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, Allison Pill, Jack McBrayer, Jorge Garcia, who everybody remembers as Hurley from
Sure.
Lost. This is such a goofy movie. It's a total horror comedy, and it's played really well by everybody that's in it. It's a flick about basically Cooties. The whole movie takes place in a small town that is their main output from the town is a chicken farm, and the town is called like Chicken City or something like that. It's I can't remember the name of it. But Elijah Wood is going back to school to substitute teach. He's a writer trying to get his first book off the ground, and his current start for the book is something like, the boat was haunted, but the boat was evil, but the man didn't know how evil. Like, really terrible.
Is it?
So he goes to the school and gets introduced to all of your main characters. It's where McBrayer is and Rainn Wilson, all these people, and then you find that at the beginning, something was wrong with one of the chicken nuggets that was sent to the school. Kid eats the chicken nugget, basically becomes a zombie, but not a zombie because they only want to kill the adults, and so then it becomes this adults versus school children, like elementary school kids.
Okay.
And it's hilarious.
Oh, okay. I was somehow waiting for you to tell me this was about that plastic kids game that looks like the caterpillars.
No.
Okay.
No. This is actually a movie where like there's blood everywhere and gore and
the Cooties different.
It's their chicken Cooties.
Child disease. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
And it's great. It's a really, really funny movie. I highly recommend it. Put it on your Halloween list.
I highly accept your recommendation.
It's a fun one. It's totally cool. There's some very funny bits to it. Watched another favorite classic called House. Old flick from the 80s, another ghost story with a weird twist to it where it's total horror comedy again, not as comedic, but it skews that direction, and the sequel is an outright horror comedy. I had forgotten Richard Mall from Night Court was in this, and he plays...
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he's kind of the big bad in it, essentially, but it's a cool flick. It's about a Vietnam vet who moves into his mom's old house or something, or his aunt's house after she dies, and he's trying to write his memoir, and in doing so the house is also haunted, and then it kind of is like feeding off of him, so there's like some weird monster scenes and really fun 80s effects that are always good stuff.
I was halfway bummed when I saw you tweet about that because I have House 1 and 2 ready to go.
It's super fun, man. I haven't watched House 2 yet. House 2 will come later. House 2 is
never, or just haven't
No,
rewatched?
I just haven't seen it in forever.
Okay, yeah. House 1 was I had a friend growing up, the friend that you have when you're growing up, where you saw all your first rated R movies, etc.
Yeah. The friend you never told your parents about.
Yep. Well, I mean,
they
knew
never told
about
them
him.
that
They
part.
just never know. Yeah, exactly. And that was the first. He's the
I was that
friend who showed me. We talked about it too. The Last Crusade. This is how sheltered I was. Last Crusade was like the first adult movie I ever saw.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, what is this thing? And but House was also I saw at his house, and it was the first,
redundant.
Hands down, the first horror movie I've ever seen. So
well, yeah, and I think I think the House is interesting because as it goes on, like when Omar Epps kind of left, that's when I think it got real weird. I think it went downhill there. Jennifer Carpenter kind of
is there more than 1 and 2?
Well, I mean, there's a whole TV show with Omar Epps, but never mind.
Oh,
that just went over your head. And that was not a good joke either. It was bad comedy because comedy is my not forte.
Unlike House, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Wait. So we continued on. Beth had never seen Child's Play, the original, so we popped that one on, and that movie still kills for me. Chris Sarandon I forget he's in that movie. Chris Sarandon's always awesome. Also, in another amazing one on my list for this probably this week is Fright Night, the original Fright Night. Chris Sarandon's awesome in that movie. Child's Play's cool. It was a great, serious horror movie with a little bit of a comedic tilt to it, but not too much. It doesn't lean into it the way that the sequels progressively do. And actually, interestingly, Cult is kind of a return to form where they didn't lean on the comedy as much. It was actually, they tried to stick to a horror movie, which is cool. Child's Play's great, still kills. I followed that one up the next day with a comedy. I hadn't seen this one yet, called Hell Baby. Was written by Robert Ben Garant and the Dangle from Reno 911. Both of those guys are from Reno 911. Thomas Lennon. Robert Ben Garant from Reno 911 was the guy with the shades and always had the body armor on.
Sure.
So this is a
shorter dude.
Yeah, it stars Rob Corddry, and those two guys are in it. Leslie Mann. It's not Leslie Mann. Leslie Bibb. Leslie Bibb. Keegan-Michael Key is in it as well, and he steals it. Every scene he's in,
of course,
just absolutely kills. But the movie is totally Hell Baby. It's exactly what you think it is. They family move, Rob Corddry and Leslie Bibb move into an old house that they're gonna fix her up, and it's she's pregnant, Satan baby,
etc.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. It's a total comedy. Michael Ian Black has a phenomenal cameo in it. It's got some funny little gore effects to it, but again, Keegan-Michael Key, he is so funny because he keeps showing up in their house, and they're like, "What the hell, man?" He's like, "I've been here for like 14 years." They're like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I just live in the crawl space." And he's like, he just pops up at times because he lives in the crawl space. It's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. So Hell Baby was great.
Better than the episode of X-Files where Bruce Campbell, Satan,
nothing is better than Bruce
just
Campbell.
Trying to have a normal baby for once.
Nothing is better than Bruce Campbell. So let's just end that right there.
Fair enough.
And then yesterday, another one of my a new favorite. Ben Wheatley is a killer director. This guy is just, Google him, IMDb him, watch everything he's made because he's just very unique. Great director. Made a movie called Sightseers about these. It's another foreign flick about two husband and wife, and they accidentally kill somebody, and then they're like, you know what? Yeah. And as they're doing it, as they're on vacation, they're taking care of business, and it's great. It's Ben Wheatley at his best. It's horror, it's comedy, it's a dark comedy. I think all of Ben Wheatley's are dark comedies, and again, yeah, the Free Fire.
This is the one you watched this week.
Yeah, that's the one I watched yesterday.
Okay. Yes,
Free Fire I think is his most recent, and I haven't seen that one yet. I got to check it out, but. Yeah, man, that was my movie journey for the week.
Man, you're having one too. What do you got lined up for this week?
It's an excellent question. I think Pet Sematary is probably coming this week. Right. I'm just not sure. One of the things I did this week, I've been teetering on it. Is Shudder is another streaming service that is all horror movies. That's all they have.
I'm surprised you've been teetering on it.
Well, part of the reason I teetered on it was for a long time they didn't have an app for the Xbox, so it was use Edge to go to their website, and I'm just not doing that. They finally put the app out, and so it's like $5 a month.
What are we talking? I was gonna say okay.
And it's got the best selection of stuff out there for horror movies. It's not the hugest selection. There's still a lot. It's a small service, but it's I guess it's AMC's service. So one of the things that I kind of love about Shudder is that you can actually go to their website and they have a free stream. That's just stuff they have that just goes. It's just constant plays, just like TV. You don't know what it is until you click on it and you watch it and it just goes.
And even then you're not sure for a while.
And that's free. But they have multiple versions of Shudder TV, and when you pay for it, and it's awesome. And that's actually how I found how I turned on and ended up watching Hell Baby. I turned it on right as it started, and I was like, oh, I wanted to see this flick, so I'm just gonna sit down and watch it. A whole bunch of other great movies have popped up on there. They have an awesome section of curated films by directors. That are, horror directors and whatnot. John Landis has stuff up there right now about the movies that they have access to that he can, he's like, this is a great movie. And,
right.
It's really cool. I'm super
That is cool,
loving
man.
it.
Like that's the way I would like to see media go. Like take a thing and specialize. I mean, Netflix will probably always be around, and they got original programming that they're kind of hanging their hat on for a while. But yeah,
and that's actually kind of one of the things I'm digging also is that Shudder has original stuff. They have a couple of movies out there. They've got TV shows that are their things, and they're just straight horror. And actually, some of their categories, the way they curate stuff are great too, because they've got like new favorites just released, but then they have stuff like Rad. I'm like, okay, what's under Rad? And what's under Rad is stuff that
I thought the movie Rad. I'm like, not necessarily horror,
not
but
the most horror. No, the subtitle, like the genre, like the it's not the genre, but it's like their categorization is Rad, and it has movies like Chud and Pieces and things that were from the 80s that were real cheesy and something that were just
rad.
The Wraith, but they were rad, yeah, and I'm loving it. Totally loving it. It's
That's
super
cool.
great. Yeah.
All right. We'll look forward to some of those others for next week. What are we doing? What do we got? We still got, we got 2 more weeks.
We got 2 more weeks of this.
Whatever we're calling this thing.
This is just my 31 days of scares. I don't know.
Scaremer. I jokingly called it Schlocktober, but I think that's actually taken.
It is.
Somebody.
I think Billy Joe from. It doesn't
Green
matter.
Day.
I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah, that's
Joe Bob Briggs. That's who I'm thinking of. Joe Bob Briggs.
Okay.
I think Joe Bob Briggs used Schlocktoberfest.
Again, it's something that would only be solved by looking things up beforehand. So,
Motel Hell is one that's probably on my list for at least this month too. I haven't seen that in a week.
Okay.
One.
There. All right. Yeah, would you watch that like on the 30th of September?
Yeah, I haven't seen Motel Hell in a long time. That's a good one.
How long since you've seen the Foo Fighters?
Never. I've never seen them.
So my brother calls me up, works for Capital One. He's like, "What's in your wallet?" I'm like, "Stop calling me." No.
Is this your new brother or your old brother?
Old brother. Yeah, I know.
Who cares?
Right. He's like, I got 4 tickets to
Ryan's older brother.
Cal Jam, which is his name is Matt, by the way.
Good job, buddy. That's why you call me Beta.
Which I guess is semi put on. It's sponsored by Capital One. I don't know if they literally put on the whole thing or whatever it is, but in any event, Foo Fighters have taken a warming to it. I guess this is the 2nd or 3rd year they've done it or something like that. But it's just a big old bunch of bands in a big old huge spot. I don't even know the name of the spot. No, actually I do. It's the Helen Amphitheater something. I don't know. It was the biggest
Glendale. The
Glendale
Galleria.
Beck special.
This took place at the Glendale Galleria.
Biggest thing I've ever been to. In my biggest concert by far, still, probably biggest thing, period. Like, just people for miles, like Woodstock freaking thing.
Sure.
A zillion people. The other bands.
A lot of humanity.
The humanity.
A grip of humanity.
The Queens of the Stone Age also played. And, Cage the Elephant. I've never heard of, but they were like 3rd.
You've totally heard them.
So.
You know Cage the Elephant from Borderlands.
Okay. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they're the.
I know. Now that you say that, I know exactly. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, I didn't see them anyway. Like, we got there. My brother's more in the Foo Fighters than I am, but also like I respect Dave Grohl.
How do you not?
A large amount. Yeah, no.
I'm not a huge Foo Fighters fan. I like them.
I don't have any other stuff.
They're fine. They're a good band, but I don't know how you don't like. I don't understand anybody who's like, I don't like Dave Grohl. Like, go no, you do. You absolutely
you do
love.
like
Everybody likes Dave Grohl.
Everybody does. And I was totally down with doing it. Like, whatever was on Saturday. So we went down, but we went down late enough that we didn't see any of the other bands. We got there probably after Cage the Elephant played because it was kind of in between. And then Queens of the Stone Age got up, and my brother thought it was Cage the Elephant, judging by something he saw. So we got like two songs in, and the guy does a falsetto, and I'm like, "Are you sure this isn't Queens of the Stone Age?" He's like, "No, it says 7:30, Cage." I'm like, "Okay." And then they do a Queens of the Stone Age song that I have on Rock Band somewhere, and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure this is Queens of the Stone Age." So we asked the guy next to us. He's like, "Yeah, this is Queens of the Stone Age." So we saw Queens of the Stone Age.
Here's how you can tell it's Queens of the Stone Age. Just for anybody who doesn't know, if the lead singer is a huge ginger, It's Queens of the Stone Age.
He was a rather large. I couldn't tell.
Dude's like 6'6".
Their stage wasn't like it's cool to look at. Like they had these light posts set up in the middle, but it made it so like I couldn't see the band a lot of the time, or it would strobe and then I just couldn't look at the stage really. Like it looked fancy. It was probably very exciting, but I'm not as up on their music, so I didn't have that going for it either. So whatever. Queens of the Stone Age was whatever. Then it got to be time to wait for Foo Fighters, and I don't know who was on the house music, but they played at least 4 different versions of Afternoon Delight. Just over and over. By the 4th one, and none of them were like punk covers or anything like that. They were all like sounded pretty similar. They were very calm and mellow and very pretty, and except if you listen to the lyrics, songs. And by the 4th one, there was an audible groan from like the whole amphitheater. Just like, oh. And I'm busting up. I'm like, tell me somebody's doing this on purpose. This is gold. Like, I want to see Dave Grohl backstage just like hitting the button over and over, just like laughing his head off.
Did at least one of them sound like it was the one from Anchorman?
Probably. I recognized the original, and I didn't know there were so many versions, similar versions.
My baby gonna hold her tight, gonna get some
just over. Like they would put one. I don't know if they ever did them back to back, but sometimes they would put like one normal song in between, and then right back to Afternoon Delight. It's real good.
Delightful.
Anyways, Foo Fighters got up. They played every song I knew, which was probably only 4 to 5. And plus some of their new stuff, which I dig just fine, like I've dug just fine.
Just like everything else they do.
The Sky is a Neighborhood, I'm told. It's real bluesy. Like that's part of the reason I respect him is because I think he's a fantastic showman. He's also obviously a good musician. And
he's an amazing musician.
Yeah, in that space, like in kind of the rock music space, in the Foo Fighters is weird for me because it was one of those bands in high school that was almost punk. So we almost listened to them, or
was that for you just strictly the addition of Pat Smear? Because I feel like I didn't know. Okay, because I feel like for the people that I knew who knew who the Germs were, that was their in with them.
He's a seminal punker. Yeah, no, for sure. I didn't know Pat Smear was in the Foo Fighters until Shiflett, who I guess one of their guitarists left. And Shiflett, who played for No Use for a Name, who I did know and had seen, got hired on, like passed the audition, got joined with Foo Fighters to replace their guitarist. And I think at this point, actually, you know what? Maybe that was when Pat Smear left.
Yeah, Pat Smear was there for like the first record. He left after I think the first record. Then he came back for a while and he tours with them. I don't know if he's played on any of the new records, but he goes on tour with them now and again too.
They have 3 guitarists, so I get the feeling that went
you're getting up there, guys.
I don't know, I have to look it up. Shiflett might have replaced Pat Smear, but I found out because when he left No Use for a Name to go to Foo Fighters, I went and saw No Use in Santa Barbara about that same time, and Shiflett was there just out front talking to people. Like the new replacement for No Use was already in the band doing stuff, so we were just hanging out outside talking. I didn't talk to him directly, but it was cool. Like I saw him talking to some people about the change and stuff like that. And then his brother is the guy I did talk to when I went and saw Face to Face. I don't know if I talked about it too much. His brother plays bass in Face to Face.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. That's right, I did, because I went up and talked to him. I was like, oh, I thought, because he was like, where are you from? Santa Barbara, blah, blah, and they're from Santa Barbara, which explains why I saw him.
Hey man, listen to our podcast.
Yeah, that would have been cool. No, but super fine show, super fun. I actually have some videos that I'll probably post. They did Here Comes My Hero. They put up a big Tom Petty tribute while they did that song. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Tom Petty, man.
Lots of stuff. We left early, though. We still got home at 4 a.m. It was like destroyed. I'm barely recovered from that today. Like, it was pretty... pretty nuts.
Remember when you were young and it would be like, man, I'm just going.
Dude, it was so big, we had to park over a mile away, and so I walked, which is unheard of. For like, we just kept driving. I'm like, you are kidding me.
Tell the story. Tell the story.
I had to walk all the way to the over a mile to this thing, to the gate. I go through the metal detectors, and they're like, oh, sorry, no wallet chain. I'm like, come on. Like, I mean, I'm a dork for wearing a wallet chain anyways. Like oh, not very many people can pull that off. Nobody can pull that off. I'm not pulling it off. I wore one when I was a skater in high school, and I didn't wear one for a long time. And then I was literally, this is where it gets real stupid, looking through boxes like 2 months ago, and I found an old silver pocket watch that I bought for whatever stupid reason, who knows.
Hey, I have an awesome pocket watch and I use it regularly. Shut up.
They're super cool.
They are. Mine is clear.
Oh, that is pretty cool, actually. Mine's like super silver, old schooly looking. Like it's got a fake tarnish on it.
Yeah, it's like silver on the outside, but when you pop it open, like you can see the gear work. The gear is working and stuff.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's dumb. So I took that chain off and made it my wallet chain. I'm like, cool, it's got some history. Whatever. Any other wallet chain I would have ditched, but now this guy's like, no, you can't have it. I'm like, I can't throw it away. So I walk all the way back to the car, and then back to the gate. And by like halfway through Foo Fighters, I'm like, man, I got something in my shoe, and I'm like trying to get it out. No, I just got blisters on my feet from walking to the car.
It's my other wallet chain.
So stupid. Foo Fighters were fun. It was worth it.
That's awesome, man.
I did fit in a movie though. I watched the new King Arthur movie from the new Guy Ritchie movie.
Starring Charlie Hunnam.
Starring Charlie Hunnam. And
the second or third most bland actor around.
Well, okay. I have never been more wrong about a movie. Okay, no, wait. I haven't been this wrong about a movie in a long time, actually.
All right.
Everything I saw, which way is it going to go? Nobody knows. Everything I saw leading up to this, like the previews all included, I thought this looked like the dumbest thing in the world. And I like Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
But those previews, I was like, oh, that just looks like... I didn't love Sherlock Holmes 2, and that might have been the last thing I saw of his. And Guy Ritchie's an acquired taste, right? Like, when he broke out, like his earlier stuff when it was super new, it was kind of mind-blowing, but I feel like over the years it's kind of got like it seems weird to say because it's British, but like kind of like a bro-ness about it,
Yes.
Like I don't know.
No,
really,
I know. I see what you're. I get where you're going with it. It is always a cadre of dudes doing something, and like he's definitely got a style to him, and I mean that's why people say the Guy Ritchie style. I mean it's there. You can't deny it, and I think the way he casts is definitely a part of that.
Oh sure, yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, you know what you're getting into a lot of the times, and I think I guess basically what I'm saying is when it goes bad, it goes really bad. Like it's almost intolerable, I think. But
okay, I mean, with his movies, this is the only one that I can think of. I guess I'd have to get his filmography up and look at it, which I'm going to do right now while you're telling. This is the only one. This is the only one where I'm like, I'm not into anything I'm seeing.
I thought I wasn't either. It totally freaking works. Like I like this way more than Sherlock Holmes 2, if that's any barometer. But the Guy Ritchie-ness is there. He somehow makes it work. Like there's still some kind of heisty elements to it. There's still some quick talking scenes to it. There's a lingo or what would you call that? Kind of slang to it. Completely asynchronous. But freaking works. Like pulls it off in a way that's as entertaining as it's ever been. And then the story itself is known, but I love what he does with it. And some of the actual action scenes are like freaking great.
All right,
they're just great.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I like Guy Ritchie. This is kind of what I needed. Somebody that I don't trust you, but
I did not believe it either. One of my best friends saw it and said he liked it, and I was like, and it still took me a month or two to get it done. And then I started watching it, and like I feel like if you like Guy Ritchie, especially if you like King Arthur stuff, like I mean the design, like what he does with I don't know if it's high fantasy. It's probably not high fantasy anymore. Is good. It's totally cool. His take on it, yes, it's low a very fantasy. Middling to low fantasy, much like 0 hit points. Hey, we played video games.
Speaking of fantasy, Cuphead.
You didn't play anything but Cuphead? We're going right to Cuphead.
Going right to Cuphead.
Okay.
We can go right to Cuphead. Well, no, actually, that's not true. Okay, I did play one other thing. I played the Stranger Things mobile game. I've been playing that.
That exists. Okay.
Yeah, and it's good.
What?
It's not. Yeah. It's totally an 8-bit thing where you're tapping to move your guy, and it's a top-down thing, and it's a dungeon crawler.
Somebody's put thought into this, haven't they?
And it's pretty good.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recommend you take a look at it. Do it on your iPad. Like, the phone is definitely, like, it works. It's fine. But the screen, just to have more space to tap, because it's a wherever you tap, if it's a valid place for your character to go, that's where he'll go. So it's not like you're not holding buttons to move up and down. And the basic thrust of it, I mean, it's kind of following a Stranger Things story. You're in a dungeon crawler. Essentially, you've got your over town, which is, Hawkins, when you move around Hawkins and stuff, and then you go into the upside down. In some cases, you go to the laboratory, and you're searching for the kids. And as you get the kids, you start off as the sheriff. The first kid you find is Lucas. And then Lucas has different powers, so he has like a slingshot, so you can flip on the fly. You change characters on the fly, and you need the slingshot to hit certain, like a switch that's across a thing that you can't walk to, and so it's puzzles and boss fights, and it's well done.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in that it's well done. It's well done to the point where I'm still playing it, and I've been playing it for like 3 days.
It's completely usurped Steppy Pants. Is that what I am to believe here?
Stupid pants. Yeah, it's fun. It's cool.
I'll check it out.
And it's getting me excited because Stranger Things second season is coming out. And
is that this month, I think?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks, I think. I'm
cool.
I'm starting my my second run through of that show, actually.
Warming up. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. So I played that. That's fun. I recommend it. It's free download. It's cool. And then Cuphead.
And then Cuphead
and Mug Matt.
I managed to catch up to you. We're both, I think you were one boss into World 3.
I am.
Sounded like when we were playing. We've both completed World 2. Let's put it that way.
I've completed some things in World 3. I think I completed a boss. I completed one of the run-and guns, I think. Needless
to say, we spoke about it a bunch last week. All of that stands. Did you want to go back on anything?
Not at all. No. I mean,
would you like to go forward on some things?
There are definitely they like I said last week. I think this stands is that they are doing an excellent job incrementing the difficulty of each level and each boss and each thing, and it's good. It's really strong. I'm having a really good time with it.
I didn't think I could like it 10 times more than I did last week. I probably do.
It's so good.
It's freaking amazing. Like and every aspect of it too. Like the big question was if the game's going to be good. Like, it looks fantastic. We already kind of knew that, and that was going to be enough to get us through a lot of it no matter what. But oh man, the game ended up being super good. The look gets better. Like every single boss, every single form of every single boss, because each boss has like 3 to 4 or 5 forms, is fantastic. Like, just every single time it changes, I'm like, I'm what's it going to be next? And then it's what it is next, and you're like, that's amazing. And it's all figures into like the bird one was one of my favorites because he goes through these different forms, and the last form he's just in a stretcher. And at some point his heart comes out through his mouth and shoots you, and it's his heart that takes damage. So his body will take damage while it's in his heart is in there. And if you're smart, you figured out you can shoot him in the butt, like the thing that hangs underneath, because he's being held by 2 birds that make it hard to get down to shoot him. Anyways, his heart comes out of his mouth.
I just bombed him.
that works too.
Yeah, it goes really fast when you bomb him.
Shut up.
It took me a few tries to realize I could bomb him because I forgot. And I mentioned that too. I was like, oh crap, I forgot I could bomb him. And then
You're talking about the... Yes, because we didn't talk about this last week, but this is one of the airplane levels.
Yeah, you bomb him.
Yeah, with like the special.
No, with your bombs. You got
normal...
bombs, right, dude? You hit your left bumper and you change to bombs instead of your bullets. It's bombs.
What?
And the bombs have the bombs have an angle. They're not like heat seekers or anything. They're like, it's like a B-2 bomber. So they go boo, boo, like that. And that's when I realized that. Yeah. Oh my God.
When you said that, I thought you were talking about the bomb. Like what your special is, you turn into a bomb and then you literally walk yourself into the enemy.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, I've been using those. Why wouldn't I use those?
So you have your Y, which makes you shrink down, and you have like super strong but short bullets. Like it's a shortened stream of bullets.
Okay, and let's stop there for a second. The Y is the dash, and I've switched that to my right trigger.
Okay, so it's not a dash in the plane.
No, it's not.
In the plane, no. It shrinks you down, and your bullet stream is smaller, but it's more powerful.
But the controller mapping crosses over, so the dash it's on the same button. I just wanted to mention that I think putting that dash on the Y button is freaking stupid and aggravating. Like move it to the trigger if you haven't yet.
I haven't. I've actually been playing
which I never say.
So far, it's been fine for me. So
okay, we're fine.
But the left bumper for in the normal setup is a weapon switch in the flying things. You go from having guns to bombs, and the bombs are slower, but they're more damage.
It's fascinating.
I also
I see it.
Continue.
No, and then, that's times every boss, and they're all great and fun. And the game,
so
it's great.
100%. I agree with you. And one of the things that I mentioned yesterday is I wanted to show. So my wife was a beekeeper. We both love bees. Bees are cool creatures, and she has a bee tattoo, and I've thought about getting a bee tattoo, but I can't get just a bee tattoo. It has to be something, it's got to be something. I have to think about it. And the bee design in this game, that could easily be a fantastic tattoo. And then you were like, you think about it, everything in this game could be.
Yeah. I haven't seen the bee, but you're right.
it's amazing. The bee is amazing. I haven't did I finish? I don't remember if I actually beat the bee or not. I might have. I think I beat the bee.
That's one of the World 3 things that you've done.
Yeah, I beat the bee. I beat the pirate. And the pirate is cool. The pirate as another cool level is pirate in a ship and all sorts of stuff. He is. He's difficult. The run and gun, again, fun. I did find something very interesting as I was I went through the upgrade, and I've been spending my coins as I kind of have them. One of the upgrades does make almost all of the bosses as I'm running, like when you're in the side scroll, not in the plane, basically. That makes the bosses easier. It's a charge shot. That thing is super strong. The problem with it is that you have to charge it. It takes like a full 2 seconds to get a full charge to it. You can still rapid fire it, but you have to click the button every time you want to fire. So what I found, like with the bee, took me forever when I was trying things with the pea shooter. I tried some of the other guns. So then I started using the power shot. The power shot really does drain their life fast. It'll get you through things quickly. But it's worth it. It's more than anything, what it's helped me do is it's helped me get further along with more health. Which some of these
which you need for the A rank anyways.
Yeah, and there's one of the ones that I just am looking at, I just got to. It's in World 3. It's after the run and gun on the left-hand side. It's not only has it been difficult to even get to the third part of it, and it's a 4-parter. The fourth part is significantly longer. It's almost half the, if not more than half the actual time of the level. That's
part of what I had no idea before this game, and I've never played maybe any boss rush game.
Yeah,
I don't
know
how
really
much
been
of
something
this is been done in the genre before, but the things that they do with that simple mode are also super cool. Like the different, it's still fun figuring out the puzzle. And to the question, is Cuphead hard, which we spent a lot of time with on last week, more and more I'm getting to know. And this is a very subjective thing anyways, but
yeah,
the more I play it, the more it seems to just live in the sweet spot,
totally
perfectly.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's. I think it's challenging, And I think,
It is.
and again, and I think that challenge comes from the challenge is learn from your mistakes. Can you learn from the mistake? And while you're learning, can you learn that pattern? Why did you get hurt? Like that's the key, I think. And I absolutely have absolutely rage quit the game multiple times, twice actually. But it's never been like I'm rage quitting and I'm never coming back to it. It's been I'm right there and I'm almost both times that I actually said I'm rage quitting this. Both times the final death was like I was on the end of it.
Well, that's why you rage quit though.
Yeah.
What bosses? What levels?
So the Beppy the Clown, wanted to strangle myself with Beppy the Clown. And actually the bird one was really frustrating until I remembered the bombs. Then the bombs, like, seriously, it was those two in that one. And then those two I definitely had problems with. They were hard. And the actually World 2 was kind of the difficulty because they threw a ton of stuff that was different in each one at you. And now they're kind of building off of that.
The freaking run and gun by Beppy the Clown, that's like you mess with gravity.
The upside down thing, which is one of my least favorite mechanics ever.
I don't have any issue with it, but it's...
I hate the mechanic, but the way they did it, like, it was fine. It was not...
It was great. It was super fun. I didn't...
Yeah.
I hadn't bought a single upgrade until I got to the dragon. I'd done everything. Speaking of not knowing about bombs, like I didn't have anything. I kept saving my money because I figured I would get somewhere that I'd be completely stuck with that I would need to buy a power up for. So I didn't want to waste my money before I knew which power up that was going to be. It turns out it was the one that makes your bullets go backwards because the dragon kicked my butt. Like, hands down, I had the hardest time with the dragon.
I totally forgot about those bullets too, by the way.
So okay, well, so we're even. There you go. You forgot about the thing that you had to buy and probably didn't know about. And I have it. It's a button press, and I had the whole time.
I had it. I forgot that it shot backwards. So I was doing the running, turn around, pea shooter. Okay,
run,
fire guy's gonna jump.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my dash to get further. Wait for the next guy to jump, then repeat. And
so I bought that, and I think the invisible dash, which took some getting used to finally.
And that dash can definitely be a killer. It
takes some getting used to because you can't see where you're going. Like you gotta.
And you also don't get a double jump.
Land.
Like there is no like once you take that, there is no extra. You're
there
done.
There isn't. And I have a hard enough time remembering I don't have a double jump period. Like I will still try, and not just trying to parry something. I will jump and then expect there to be a double jump, and I don't go anywhere because there isn't. It's weird.
Yeah.
We'll get into some more of it next week, I'm sure. So World 3 next week.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get through it. I see. I have to go faster than you because you're better than me. But that being said,
no. See, the way I'm doing is I don't move on until I've got the A rank. So I've got the A rank all the way up to 3.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Which actually,
I may go back.
I should say,
I may go back
because there's an achievement for getting A ranks in all of them. A- ranks count, which I didn't know.
Cool.
One of the final levels I got an A-, not an A, and I still got the achievement. So. More you know.
Now I know. But that's where I'm at. Tell us more about
I'm
games.
playing some more Mirror's Edge Catalyst. That's probably where a lot of the rest of my time is going. I'm not done with it yet. Still liking it a great deal. We'll talk about it more when I'm done with it. DDR Universe, still doing plenty. The one
How are your legs?
I'll say they're doing fine. I've got a blister from Foo Fighters. I maybe turns out don't like DDR games. Like I'm remembering now that I got this because I was so up. This is how long I've had this thing. Because I was so up on Mario DDR, which they had probably a different name, but for the GameCube, which I love.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot. Super fun. Turns out that was a very specific subset of DDR that I loved.
That makes sense.
The gameplay's fun enough, and I'm more doing it kind of to get my cardio in.
Get your cardio on.
But yeah, the game, I get the feeling that DDR as a whole I might not be crazy about. That's the one thing I got for you this week.
All right.
Might not be for me.
Might not be. It's not.
So I'll keep playing.
It's not for you.
And then I tried to stream some Star Fox 2. The name of the stream was Star Fox 2. You have to complete the first level Star Fox 1 to unlock Star Fox 2 on the SNES Classic.
Oh.
So I started Star Fox and then figured, I might as well finish it off. Spent the hour doing just Star Fox 1 on the Star Fox 2 stream. Did finally beat it, and I think with like 1 or 2 guys left. So it was all of my continues were used. So it wasn't as close as I would have, or it was closer than I would have liked it to have been. Wow. And then it turns out the stream was pretty crappy the whole time, and I lost the video after the fact, so none of it matters anyways.
So how was Star Fox?
It's good. It's better than I remembered. Like, there was a lot of stuff I forgot about it. Like, I kind of thought that was a game that was good for kind of having such a new look, you know, doing the Mode 7 stuff, doing the 3D stuff. But it's actually, what it does with that is actually really good. Yeah,
I was watching the stream as I best I could.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I had forgotten about a lot of that game. And yeah, it's
like the music's cool, the scale is cool. Like it does really cool stuff with.
Yeah.
They use that gimmick to its fullest potential, like made it not a gimmick essentially. So
right.
Yeah, it was cool.
So Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2 this week. Hopefully I get the stream figured out.
Do it. Figure it out.
But that's it. Let's go to the trailer park.
I feel like it should sputter out. I can't do that sound effect.
With a backfire.
Yeah.
I got your backfire right here. Injustice 2 came out with a trailer for... Did you get to watch these? Did you take a trip through the trailer park, Matt?
I did. The Atom.
The Atom for Injustice 2 looks amazing.
So cool. And that is like the watching him go all miniature and just walloping people and flipping them. And then
so good.
one of the things that I actually went back and rewatched it, I wanted to see what it looked like when he came out of those things. And they did a great job modeling that, so that like when he jumps into somebody, kind of spins around them, and then when he jumps out on the other side, you know, he's facing the right direction, like and it just looks cool. You know, it looks amazing.
Looks cool, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's just a little tiny dude kicking some butt. I don't know how you do the weird thing is I don't know how you do the hitbox on that. Like how I'm really would be interested to see how that feels actually. Like, do you feel cheated? Like, is it hard to get a handle? Like, does it still feel fair?
Yeah, I'll be curious if it's like how much defensive stuff he has, because I'm guessing that's a lot of combo stuff where it's built into, you know, it's you know, fireball or whatever. But maybe it's a trait. Maybe the size is a trait thing that he can do like everybody else has traits. So I don't know.
You're getting this right. Like you have the whole
I've got the ultimate
banana
thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. Eager to hear about it. Not to be outdone, Marvel versus the Capcom's Infinites put out a trailer too for Black Panther and Sigma.
Hey, cool. I just don't care. Those trailers are boring. They're boring, man. Marvel's trailers suck. These Marvel
but
vs. Capcom is just
came out.
Blech. Yeah, and it fell with like the thud of a wet turd, man. It's just whatever. So Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite can just go like a fart in the wind.
Hey, speaking of farts in the wind, remember when Forza Motorsport did that thing? We talked about this briefly, where the VIP pass was different now, and it sucked and was real cheap the way they did it.
It was real stupid, and it was limited time use, and none of that was explained until they were like, "Oh, fine, I guess we'll actually explicitly explain."
Yeah, they're like, "Sorry, we'll explain it better," and then everybody was like, "No, that's not the problem, really."
And Turn 10 went, "Oh,
okay. I get it."
So,
and then they reversed it though.
Yeah. So now it's back to what it was.
Good on them.
Yes, but shame on them still for trying that shisty move. That's real.
Yeah, I guess
cheesy.
That was pretty low.
No buenas.
You got us. Putting it back.
But good. You know, I'm glad they listened, and I'm glad they fixed it, because that's, you know, Forza is It's a major. That's a major racing game, man. You don't want to nuke your fan base with greed like that.
Well, do something else at least. Like don't bait and switch or whatever.
Right,
because if you're gonna make it, keep the consumable thing. Make the. I don't know if they've sold the double XP packs as consumables in the past, but if they haven't, then sure, do that. But just don't do the
don't
VIP
say that's
trick.
VIP.
Yeah, exactly. Give the VIP guys whatever they want. They're paying extra. It's like there's plenty of games out there that have options for a lifetime buy. Like you can go through the consumables. That's fine. Free to play, whatever. Or you can pay this one-time fee and you're good to go forever. Like it's not rare. Like don't trick the people that are gonna do that for you on a regular basis. Just do the consumables separate and let the people that are worse with their money go with that option.
Which brings us to the current discussion surrounding Star Wars Battlefront 2, which to this point, this has now been talked about since last Friday. It's been complained about for multiple days, and DICE still has said absolutely nothing about this.
Oh, really?
So one thing to note before we go forward about talking about this, consider the fact that this is a beta, and we're going to end up talking about how the systems kind of are working right now, and whether or not those systems get changed in the future. If those systems are as hard coded as they are often, I will be surprised to see if this changes dramatically. But we'll see. So right now, the big problem
on top of that, we didn't play the beta.
We didn't play the beta. No, this is all. I mean, it's beyond hearsay because this has been talked about by every major news outlet. Total Biscuit, Angry Joe, every streamer out there that's played the game that's making videos put a video out about this.
Plenty of people did play the beta, and there's plenty. Yes, us specifically, just wanted to say.
Right. So it seems like the general consensus is the game itself is fantastic. The gameplay is amazing. It's everything is improved and that's fantastic. That's what we all want to hear. The downside here is that it is very clearly, based on what everything is out there now, a pretty pay to win situation where you don't level up your characters. You're leveled up completely by star cards. Star cards are completely RNG. Star cards are purchasable. You don't get a ton of the crates that the star cards come in.
Wait, star cards are purchasable, not just crates?
No, okay. Well, the crates have the star cards. That's what's in them.
But there's a difference between that and buying specific star cards.
So hold on. So
okay.
This all coalesces because you can craft star cards. That's cool. Right now, the way things are craftable, you're gonna get your crafting materials through the crates you buy. There are daily missions that sound like those will give you a crate or two, some crates here and there. And then you're kind of just on your own to get credits to buy crates eventually. And credits don't seem to drop terribly. Angry Joe had a whole thing on he spent a good 15, 20 minutes about it, where no, it doesn't matter how good you do. Everybody seems to generally get the same amount of credits right now. So that's another.
That was a question I had. I didn't get deep enough to know if we knew how the credit generation was, like how quickly you got stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So they were playing and they were showing like, and they would, tab out, show the stats, and you'd see one of them topping it out 40, 50 kills, whatever. The other guy gets 10, same credits at the end of it. They both get 150 or whatever. So the fact,
which isn't necessarily rare. Like a lot of games base the XP or credits you get on time spent. Like that's a thing. Like a longer game will get you more credits.
Right, but I don't know. But there's no proof that that's what's going on here either. Like this doesn't. There's not a whole lot of understanding about. Like,
we would have to compare it between long and short games. I'm just saying if it's not based on performance, then there's a chance that if you spend the same amount of time in the game, that would be why you both got the same amount of credits.
Sure, but I mean, when you have such a skill disparity between somebody getting 30 to 50 kills and the other person getting 5, shouldn't the person getting 30 to 50 kills get more credits?
Debatable. Depends on the game, because then you're weighting it towards people who perform better. which is something
so
you don't necessarily want to do either.
If it's an objective based thing, yeah, I guess it's just there are certain points where when players at that top peak, doesn't really matter what the objective, they should probably be getting more credits overall. Like the better you do, you should get you better rewards.
I'm not completely there with you, but that's cool. Keep going.
I'm not saying everybody else should be. You shouldn't get anything for not playing well. You should still get stuff, but if you're in the top, you're MVP, you should get something more. But ultimately, what this comes down to is these cards aren't just cards that do nothing. There are cards that, like Boba Fett is a good example. You get the Boba Fett has a card that makes his flight, when he's flying, when he's using his jetpack, he has 10% invincibility. Then you upgrade it and it's 30, and then 50, and then 80, and then to eventually 100. So you have a flying Boba Fett who's at 100, and if you've got more money, you're going to get those cards faster. You're going to have that Boba Fett, and that is immediately right there. You have a player that is outpacing it. It doesn't matter. Like if skills is equal, that player is almost always going to succeed further on than anybody else that's not paying to play the game. And that's ultimately going to impact players wanting to play the game. I mean, why would you play a game? Why would you want to get into a fight with somebody who's outclassing you because they've got all the best weapons? They've unlocked everything. Because also, that's the other thing, the unlocks for what they have right now, people were barely getting 2-3 weapons and they're playing 25 hours. Like that's got to change. You can't, your drop rate like that for to be able to unlock weapons, your secondary, third weapons, like that sucks. And then again, to be basing your entire level and your abilities off of how many star cards you have, there is no way of saying this is not pay to win. It is. The system that's in there right now is a pay to win system. So for all last week where I was like, man, I kind of think about pre-order, I'm definitely not. Definitely waiting to see what DICE says and how this goes. Because I don't want to get into a Star Wars game that I might love, but I'm going to get super frustrated with immediately because I am not going to spend money outside of the initial purchase price. Like I'm just not.
And you shouldn't feel like you have to. Like that I'll agree with. I do take issue with a lot of the other stuff though. This is, and even fuller disclosure, more than we didn't play the beta, multiplayer also isn't my thing. So again, I always want to temper what I say with that because it's going to be a bunch of bunk because I'm not even in also I'm going to get this game and I'm not in this game for the multiplayer. So do with that what you will. But some of my biggest problems with all of the negativity around this, and I should also say that I watched the Total Biscuit video because I feel like his was pretty representative, and you've watched a lot more of this, so I'm gonna help me out here.
No, the Total Biscuit video is solid. That's
okay,
that one.
Okay.
I think he contained exactly what the problem is and why it's an issue.
So with his video and people like it, I keep hearing some of the terminology that you were using too, like obvious advantage. Like there's no way around that. This is pay to win. Some of the words he uses are massive advantages. Speaking about the star cards, about how, and yeah, he uses the Boba Fett example. How 4 upgrades up, he's literally invincible when he's up in the air in his jetpack. What I don't think we have enough information to make such wide-ranging assumptions. I mean, yeah, on its face, obviously, that's the knee-jerk, and that's the easiest thing to say, is because, yeah, you appear to be buying an advantage, but you're buying an advantage in a Battlefield game or in a Battlefront game. Like that's been my number one gripe about which again is very few, Battlefield and Battlefront games, is that the XP drip is stupid. It's dumb. I hate it. Again, that's not for me. Plenty of people stick with it forever, and that's their thing. That's cool. If anything, there might be kind of a different angle that's being missed, and it's not that you're buying an advantage, it's that most of the time you're not. The balance that's really at stake here is that DICE, the people who make the game, want people to buy these things because they feel like they're advantages, but they have the exact same vested interest that the people that play the game don't feel like they're being out advantaged. They're in both sides of that. Like that's the real balance here. They don't want to, obviously, to make a game where everybody thinks that they can buy advantages and those people are obviously advantaged over everybody else. Like they don't want that because that hurts their player base too. So first off, I don't think there's enough information to even make that judgment. If the XP drip is an XP drip, that's again something I said I wasn't so into. Like I didn't have that information yet. So if you say that, like that obviously is a tick in the wrong direction. But I have a hard time believing that it's not kind of all going to work out in the end, like that it's going to probably feel just fine. There's going to be balance changes, there's going to be balance tweaks. That's another thing. Like DICE, probably more than a lot of people, and as AAA games go, is going to be in this, like making small tweaks with numerous updates as time goes on.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about a lot of that. I mean, obviously we disagree. I disagree because I don't, for one, this is all their way of making the DLC free. That's how this is going to work. That's the
other thing.
That's the point of this.
Don't forget, right?
The unfortunate thing here is that they're doing it wrong. And yeah, dude, fine, you're not into it for the multiplayer. Yeah, that's fair. So then most of this is probably not as applicable to you. It doesn't matter to you. You're going to play the multiplayer to wherever you need to, and that's fine. The XP drift is going to suck because it's Battlefield. Sure. When you disagree that it's pay to win, that's fine, but I don't see how it's not. And pay to win, keep in mind, doesn't guarantee a win. It just means you're paying to have the best stuff so that you are always at the highest level you can be without having to put in any of the time or effort. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. I don't want to play with people like that because that's not fun for me. And that's not saying that it's going to be prevalent. Maybe it's not. Who knows? My point in all of this, and this is what I'm saying, I held off on the pre-order because while we don't know what the game is going to be the day it comes out, I disagree with the premise that we don't have enough information to make an educated guess, because that information is out there in the beta. Based on what the beta shows, which is what I said at the beginning, this is not. I essentially agree with Total Biscuit. It is. Sure. You are buying an advantage. There is no reason to RNG your character. And this is the other part of this. Let's say I don't want to play Assault. I don't care about Assault. Maybe I only want to play Officer, and this is brought up too. I only want to play Specialist. I only want to play one thing. Doesn't matter. You can play that strictly the whole time. You may never get a card for it because it's RNG. And that was another thing that people talked about was, I don't want to play Officer. All I've got is Officer stuff.
But that's all the cards you're getting.
Yeah. And then it's, well, craft the cards. I can't because I don't have enough crafting material because that doesn't drop enough. So you're only crafting X amount of stuff. So there's DICE has some work to do for me to show me that the pay to win thing is not occurring.
Yeah, and I'm by no means am I saying it's not a possibility. Like,
sure.
Like I think Halo 5 was ruined by what they did with the microtransactions. I think Gears of War 4 was ruined by what they did with the microtransactions. There is a world where, and thank you for mentioning the DLC is going to be free. This is the price of that in a lot of ways. This is the online pass. Like the online pass isn't going to go away just because it's gone away.
Right.
They still want to be compensated for all this service that they're providing as far as the servers go and the multiplayer goes and all that stuff. So yeah, there is a world where they don't care so much about the people that have these concerns. They're going to weed those guys out as quick as possible, and they're going to have the hardcore people that want to spend money and the hardcore people that want to grind left, and they might be fine with that being their player base. I kind of don't think so, but more directly to answer your question, how could this not be pay to win? It's not pay to win if you're not winning when you pay, basically. And that's part of what I meant when I was saying if the advantage isn't really there, if you end up paying for variety and not advantage, like that might be the case even if you don't see it on paper. Even under the hood, it could be balanced in such a way, as these games have been, that you're not actually buying an advantage. It just looks like you are because you want to feel like you got your money's worth, when really the developers don't want to hamper their game so much in that way anyways. That is a world that can exist as well.
It could. Yeah, it totally can. Right now in the beta, it doesn't. And so
and I'm saying I don't think we have enough information to say that's the case.
And I'm saying I disagree.
Yes, and that's
let's go back to the beginning. Let's have this whole conversation again. So let's see. Let's review.
This is recorded. I can just put it back in here again.
Thankfully, okay, good. Here we go. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It's going to be fun to see what happens. I am going to get the game because I'm getting. Did I tell you I ended up finally pre-ordering a Scorpio?
No, you did.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I thought the Target let me use the red card, so I got $25 off. Was kind of just the push I needed. And yeah, I know, whatever. Screw you.
I would have sent you $25. Like if and I don't even need to. Like, there's no reason. I get nothing out of it. I just want you to have fun.
I gotta have the Scorpio because I want to see that game in 4K. That thing the first game looked amazing, not in 4K.
Man,
I'm gonna get. I want to play that game on the Scorpio.
I'm looking forward to coming to your house to seeing games in 4K.
You will.
I want to see Cuphead in 4K.
Oh man, also. But so yeah, I'm gonna get it. I would be getting it if it was the story only. Honestly, there's no chance. I'm gonna get it. So whatever.
I didn't pre-order it. I pulled back on that. I just got to see what's going on. Otherwise it'll be a used thing
which is
where
smart.
I can pick it up cheap.
Yeah, I would totally do the same thing if I were you. Actually, like there's, especially after Halo 5 and Gears of War 4. Like
I'm
being the world that we live in now.
Yeah, and it sucks. I'm just not into it.
It does suck. That should be universal. Like in having to have this conversation should be sucky. Like this sucks, honestly, no matter what.
But it doesn't suck? The lightning round. I didn't want to give you time to answer.
If that's verifiable, but if there were several things that we hadn't talked about yet, let's say that we didn't want to spend a ton of time on, this would be the way to do that. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
It might. You know what?
Okay.
We got timers. There's 3 minutes, 30 seconds. We'll put 30 seconds.
3 minutes? Okay, we'll see if
I don't
want to
take that. We'll do 30 seconds
on the clock.
3 minutes on the clock.
Matt, it's your turn. Are you ready?
I'm never.
The video game Rocket League is getting some more Fast and Furious DLC cars today.
Oh, man. I bet they're like the family truckster because it's about family.
The exclusive Destiny 1 content for PS4 is now available on Xbox One.
You shouldn't have got an Xbox One!
And last but not least, Earth no longer resembles the home we now know of. The origami, terrifying beasts that live only to consume, are carving a path of destruction and misery wherever they are encountered. To combat this threat, an elite group of heroes known as God Eaters are called upon to save humanity. God Eaters are individuals who have been bestowed upon them the ability to wield powerful new God Arcs, special weapons powered by Oracle cells, and the only known weapons capable of destroying the monstrous origami. However, another mission is coming into focus. Something is happening to the God Eaters, and the line between light and dark has never been so thin. It's time to start breaking free from the cursed shackles that bind the souls of the God Eaters as the battle rages on around them. God Eater 3 has been announced.
Yeah, okay, I missed.
Perfect score.
Yeah. 100%. Hey, stuff is happening. Games yesterday. Stuff. Games yesterday. Stuff games yesterday. You see where we're going with this? Yesterday games, there was stuff. Yesterday, Overwatch's Halloween Terror of 2017 has dropped skins and gameplay and modes and fun stuff.
Did you see the skins got leaked? Did you see some of those?
I did, and in fact, I need to get the Zarya skin where she's got leg warmers.
What about the Cthulhu Zenyatta?
The Cthulhu Zenyatta is pretty funny too. I like the
right?
I like Mecha Cthulhu.
Hey, would we play Overwatch for the stream tomorrow? Is that something? Sure. Okay,
yeah, let's do that
tomorrow at 7 p.m. PST. Check it out.
Yeah. Also, games came out yesterday. Tiny Barbarian DX. He's a little barbarian.
It's just a little tiny Conan.
88 Heroes, 98 Heroes edition. I think you can't figure out what's going on there.
That's a 10 hero discrepancy.
It doesn't sound right. And Shadow of Wardor. Get your Wardors here. Coming up.
Did you get it?
Nope.
Yesterday?
Nope. Did not. Not picking that one up, I don't think.
Why?
Mostly because I do not want to slog through it.
You don't have a problem with the microtransactions?
In this one, no. I mean, I think they suck.
So here's the thing about microtransactions.
Thursday, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare DLC Pack 4 Retribution.
Yeah, I guess.
Watch that trailer?
Yeah, it's fine. It actually looks a lot like the zombies mode for Advanced Warfare.
It does. It looks, again, because this week, through the 11th, Gesture Warfare is going on. I still really want to go pick this up and play that. Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
Friday,
I'll let you know.
Friday, The Evil Within 2, and Sunday, Tear, Owari to or Tear. It could be either way. Owari to Hajimari no Shizuku.
How much Shizuku?
No Shizuku. That's coming Sunday. Like we said, we're gonna stream 7 p.m. PST tomorrow night. Some Overwatch.
Keith Overwatchman.
I think this week there will be more Cuphead. We're gonna try and get through that.
There might be.
I want to play some more Fortnite Battle Royale, man. I've been enjoying that. I like it a lot. It's just been fun. Probably some more Madden. It's been a week or two since I've gotten a few Madden games in, like to do some more of that. What about you? What are you doing? What are you playing?
Yeah, Cuphead, Infinite Warfare. No, Advanced Warfare, actually, probably. I've finished Infinite Warfare, so I'm like, come on.
Finally.
And Mirror's Edge. Star Fox 2.
Starring you two.
And I will try and stream that also.
Cool.
On 0HITPOINTS.com, twitch.com. But there's a link on 0HITPOINTS.com. Go to 0HITPOINTS.com first.
Yeah, then go to Twitch TV/0HITPOINTS. Then find our Twitter account, which is at 0_H_P. Send us a message there about our Facebook account, which is facebook.com/0HITPOINTS. And then on our Facebook account, make sure you let us know about our Instagram feed. So I think it'll all work out.